My name is Peter Lubayo and welcome to my channel. Under the How to Answer series, I'm going to be taking you through how to answer the yes, no, not given, including my best tricks and tips. Alright, this is just a video. Like I said, under the How to Answer series, there are lots more video. I need you to subscribe to this channel to have full access. Thank you. Let me just tell you the key idea in yes, no, not given before we go to the practice session. Now, if you look at the instruction given by it says yes if the statement agrees with the claims of the writer. It is no if the statement contradicts the claims of the writer, and it is not given if it is impossible to say what the writer thinks about this. Now I'm going to go straight to the practice section, which will take me just a very few time, but I'm going to apply everything that you need to know about answering yes, no, not given here. Now, the topic is the benefit of being bilingual. The question number 1 says, attitudes towards bilingualism have changed in recent years. Is it yes, no, or not given? So now, looking at this is a paragraph. So one thing I've done is to lift out where it was taken from. Okay, so where it was taken from. So that means that I have bypassed one of the challenge you have in answering this question type, which is in locating where the information or the claim or the perception is in the text. So you need to bear that in mind. But now, if you have located where that statement was taken from or something related that can help us to answer the question, how are you going to confidently say that this is the right one? Now, according to the latest figure, the majority of the world's population is now bilingual or multilingual. If you read through, you will see that in the question, it says, bear with me. I really need to, okay, I'll take this down. Okay, beautiful. So now, in the question, it says attitudes towards bilingualism. Now, this is key. What is the attitude of people? And then in recent years, and then has it changed? So has the attitude of people towards bilingualism changed in recent years? That is what you are looking for. However, the information you have in the passage, it says recently, like latest figure. A lot of people are embracing bilingualism. Okay, that's the information you have here, of which it was considered to be disadvantage for you to be bilingual in the past. Okay, so that is the information we have in the passage. Let me repeat that statement. What we have in the passage as highlighted is that people now embrace being bilingual, of which it was considered to be disadvantage in the past to be bilingual. Now, does that connote attitude of people being changed? Yes. A lot of people, when I sent this question out, chose not given because they have not seen the word attitude in this paragraph word for word. But this statement, majority of people, majority of the world's population is now bilingual. Okay. Now, meanwhile, in the past, the embracement, the new development of embracing bilingualism was considered to be disadvantaged in the past. You can see attitude now. You can see that people's view about bilingualism has changed over time. That's really what this place is saying. Given the clear evidences of benefits that we now have about being bilingual. Okay, so the first trick here is that you might not see what you have word for word, but it will always be paraphrased. So what you are looking for is not that word, but you are looking for the same meaning. You are looking in totality. Does it mean the same thing as the question being asked? If it is the same, that is yes. Just like we have seen here. If what we have in the passage is that people attitude have not changed in recent times regarding bilingualism, that would have been no, looking at the question. And it will be not given if we do not have enough information to say it is yes or no. All right. Don't be confused. You are still going to have time. Bilingual people are better than monolingual people at guessing correctly what words are before they are finished. Yes, no, not given. Now, but what do we have in the passage? When we hear a word, we don't hear the entire word at once. Okay, so generally, every one of us, we don't hear the word at once because the sound arrives sequentially. Now, long before the word is finished, can you see? The brain's language system begins to guess what the word might be. So if we hear the word candy, can, you will think, so the word can, you think of candy, can do if you are English. Okay? But then for bilingual people, this activation is not limited to a single language, meaning that they have a large pool of where they can pick their guess from. Okay? So if you look at, then they cited an example of Russian. When they hear the word stamp, it thinks of something marker or something like that. So if you look at what the information we have here can be paraphrased as bilingual people have larger pool where they can draw their guess from. But the question is saying bilingual people are better than monolingual people at guessing correctly. Can you see what words are before they are finished? Now, it will be yes if that is what we have in the passage. It will be no if the passage has said that monolingual people are better than bilingual people in guessing correctly what words are before finishing. But in this case, what we have is that bilingual people have larger pool where they can draw their guess from, which doesn't correlate to this question. So we don't have this claim. The writer has not claimed that bilingual people are better than monolingual people in guessing correctly what words before they are finished. Do you get that? All right. I'll move on to question 3. It says bilingual people consistently name images faster than monolingual people. Now, when you see qualifiers, you have to be careful. Such word like consistently, okay? So that means in all situation, bilingual people are able to name images faster than monolingual people. Can you see? Now, but what do we have in the passage? For instance, knowing more than one language can cause speakers to name pictures more slowly. You can see, even without reading beyond this level, what we have in the passage is that bilingual people or multilingual name pictures slowly, okay? More slowly than their counterpart, which are monolinguals. Someone will say, but they didn't mention monolinguals. But if you look at it, knowing more than one language, these are monolinguals, okay? So bilinguals or multilinguals name pictures more slowly. That is what we have in the passage, which is completely opposite to what the question is saying. Okay? So bilingual people consistently name images faster than monolingual people. No. Right? That's straightforward, isn't it? Thank you. But you need to take note of qualifiers because it has a potential of changing this, and you can see faster than. Okay, I have to take note of them. Now, bilingual people's brain process single sounds more effectively than monolingual people in all situations. Now, bilingual people's brain process single sound more effectively than monolingual people. Look at the qualifiers again. In all situations, you have to be careful of that word. This is usually introduced when they want it to be no or yes, you understand? Especially no. When your answer is no, they introduce qualifiers just to nullify what you have in the past. So you saying an information or a claim that look like what they have said does not make it a yes. You have to look at the whole meaning of that question or statement you've been given. So in this case, what do we have in the passage? Okay. So when monolingual and bilingual adolescents listen to simple speech without any interfering background noise, they show highly similar. You can see, so what we have here is that they show highly similar, their brain process sound, single sound similarly compared to the monolinguals. However, when they include the same sound in the presence of background noise, okay, the bilingual listener neural response is considerably larger, reflecting better encoding. So what this place is saying is that bilingual people's brain process simple sounds more effectively than monolingual people in certain or some situations. That is what we have in the text. And certain situations, example of such situation is when there is introduction of noise in the background. So making this question to the answer to this one to be no. Okay? I hope you're getting it now. Beautiful. Beautiful. Moving on to the last question in this video for you. It says fewer bilingual people than monolingual people suffer from brain disease in old age. Okay? Fewer means low number when you compare to monolingual brain disease in old age. Now let's look at what we've got in the passage. So older bilinguals enjoy improved memory relative to than that's comparison. Also, this is a brain disease, okay, Alzheimer's. Bilingual patients reported showing initial symptoms 5 years later than monolinguals. So if you read through this paragraph, what the information we have here is that bilingual people develop symptoms later than monolinguals. Okay, but we don't know the rate at which it occurs. We don't know whether it is fewer or more than monolinguals. So here, assuming there were more bilingual people than monolingual suffering from the disease, the answer to this question would be no. If it were to be fewer bilinguals suffering from this disease, it would be yes. But what we have in the passage, we don't have this information. There is nothing about the occurrence, the figure, the rate at which this occur or differ from one group to another. Do you get what I'm trying to tell you now? So these are tricks you need to employ when you are answering yes, no, not given question. Those are things you need to bear in mind. So in summary, it is only yes if the what you have in the question agrees in totality. So you ensure that you understand the whole meaning, not just that the information looks alike, the same word used in the passage as in the question, or there are synonyms or antonyms. You understand what I mean? So the statement, you have to understand the passage, what the section of the paragraph or the passage that relate to that question. Okay? And this cannot be overemphasized. You have to watch out for qualifying words, as you will see in question 2 and 3 or thereabout. Such qualifying words are e.g., some, all, majorly, consistently, like we saw occasionally, and the likes. There are also some qualifying statements you need to be wary of. When they say people claim that, but however, the writer claimed that. I'm just leaving it simple like that, but you will see it in some question. It starts with what people generally believes, okay, and then comes to narrow it down to the claim of the writer, which is what you're looking for. All right. Remember, the questions always follow the same order as the paragraphs. So if you find the answer to question number 2 in paragraph 4. Okay. Question number, let me say, if you have found the answer to question number 1 in paragraph 4, the answer to question 2 cannot be in the preceding paragraph. That means it cannot be in paragraph 1, 2, 3. So you check under where you got the first answer and you tape it down like that. That will help you in understanding. For instance, if you could not locate the answer to question number 1, but you have found the answer to question 2, you know the answer to question 1 is just before where you got the answer to question number 2. All right? And don't waste your time. Resist that temptation. If you follow the tricks I've given you, if you know what you are doing well, once you cannot find the information, it's probably not given. Okay? Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you have further questions on this yes, no, not given. But I'm going to remind you something before going. When treating yes, no, not given, you have to avoid assumptions from what you know about the topic previously. Okay? So do not assume, do not speculate. Stick to what the writer has said in the text. All right. Thank you for listening. My name is Peter Olubayo again. We conduct free basic IELTS classes like this one. We have WhatsApp group